Now, ladies and gentlemen, you have tuned in to the adventures of Porno Man.
In my hot, wet, juicy, nasty.
Do what with your what?
On your knees.
Oh my.
Service me now.
I'ma grow up to be a dirty old man. Can't get it up and still flirt like I can. Pretending to drop shit to girls in the hand. And bend over to pick it up while I hurry get a glance. Up the skirt to see that pretty little ass. Thinking things to embarrass to the ass. Like, girl, is that your butt? Or is that just how you carry your bags?
Welcome back. This is the weekend recap. Glad you guys are back. And what did we do with our weekend? Let me first tell you what we did do with our weekend. We were supposed to go to a party on Saturday, but that did not happen, unfortunately.
That was my fault. I wasn't feeling well.
It was hot as balls outside.
It was hot as balls.
We were going to catch the metro up, and
I just wasn't feeling. If we were going to drive, I probably still would have gone, even though I wasn't feeling well. But traveling in that heat, I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy. It was hotter than the seventh circle of hell. It was so hot. So I just couldn't see being in that heat and having to deal with all the people on the metro. And on top of that, DC no longer does Code Red days apparently, so I would have had to pay, a premium price for the privilege of being with a lot of grumpy, hot, sweaty people, and none of that sounded attractive.
it would have been good once you got on the train. The air conditioning's been working really well. Like, well some days.
Yeah, if you get a car where the AC is working.
Like I said, I haven't noticed anything, but that's some whole other issue. So, because of that, we didn't really go anywhere or do much of anything.
Played a lot of video games, a lot of Second Life, watched some TV shows. Good TV show, Ballers, with Dwayne Johnson, aka The Rock. I expected a lot less, and I was pleasantly surprised. It's actually a good show. But
Outstanding show.
HBO does really good with, their storytelling. They've gotten really good with that. So I don't know why I expected so much less. I guess I figured they can't keep hitting them all out of the park.
Well, I don't think they kept them all out, but it's just a very large majority percentage.
I mean, yeah.
They're on it.
They really are. They really are.
Them and AMC. And Netflix.
Netflix is...
Yeah, Netflix is...
They're becoming a force to be reckoned
Jesus.
with. They have some really good original programming.
Speaking of which, we actually just watched another one of their new shows called The Get Down. We only watched the first episode. And while it took a while to get around to...
Where you knew it was going.
Yeah, it was a lot of character development.
A lot of character development.
In that first episode. But when it got around to, obviously, what the story is going to kind of be about, it got there really nice.
Right, it was real
magical. It was worth it.
Yeah, it was worth it. It was worth it. In a little bit of different news, we are grandmother again. Grandparents again, sorry. I said grandmother, didn't I? I'm sorry. We're grandparents again. We have a 3-year-old grandson whose name is Javion, and he's cute as a button. Reminds me very much of his father at that same age, which is my son. My oldest son and his girlfriend had a baby this weekend, and she's absolutely precious and adorable. She's 6 weeks premature, so she's had to stay in the hospital a little bit longer than her mom. Her mom was released today, apparently, but she had to stay in, which is exactly what happened with my son when he was born, her father when he was born. I got to go home. He had to stay in the hospital a little bit longer. I love my son's girlfriend to death for a number of reasons. She's a good person. She's a wonderful person. She is very family oriented. She, goes out of her way to make sure that she keeps in touch with me. because me and my kids are all really bad at keeping in touch with each other. So, well, Kiara's not. Kiara's awesome at keeping in touch, although not so much since she's got married. But
she got a life, man.
Right, she just got married a few months ago, and so I don't hear from her.
I'm sure they're bumping a lot of uglies.
Quite as often as I used to hear from her, but she still manages to keep in touch quite often. But my oldest son and I, Kenton and I, we just don't keep in touch like that. Like, if I see something funny, I'll tag him in it in Facebook, and he'll respond, or he'll tag me in something in Facebook, and that's about the extent of our interaction. But Kat makes sure that she stays in touch. But I love Kat beyond all of those reasons. I love Kat because, let me back up. I'm a gamer. I gave birth to gamers. I raised gamers. I encouraged them to be gamers. When I was worried about whether or not they were getting enough exercise, I bought a dance pad and Dance Revolution, so they would still be gamers and still be getting exercise. I mean, that's just the way that I think, being a gamer. Kat, on the other hand, is not a gamer. She's not a gamer at all. None of it interests her in any way, shape, or form. My son is very much into Pokemon. He's also very much into anime. And she allowed him to name their child Renee Phoenix Evie. Phoenix is from one of the animes, and he told me which one it was, but I can't remember right now. But Phoenix is from one of the animes that he watches that he likes a whole lot. And Evie is, yes, a Pokemon. Yes. And she allowed him to name their child after anime and Pokemon, which I think is amazingly awesome. For someone who is not a gamer to be okay with their child being named after, she's not even really a nerd for real. So for her to allow her, significant other to name their child the most nerdiest name, it's kind of awesome. So I love that chick. I think she's amazing. And I just have nothing but, the best hopes for the two of them, or the three of them now.
Yes. Their family.
Their family.
So, I don't really have anything else to talk about. I didn't do much. Oh, I did go see an old friend yesterday while in between washing clothes. I actually have known this woman about 30 years now. It's been about 30 years.
Has it been?
Yeah. She's the oldest, when I say oldest, I mean longest person I continually had sex with, period. So, but I got to go see her, and that was kind of fun. But other than that,
it was a pretty low-key weekend.
So, moving forward, hopefully we'll have a lot more to talk about, or something more exciting anyway, coming up from the weekend coming up. For the weekend coming up, we have our back-to-school party, and already we've got 14 people signed up to come. So it's
and we haven't even got to the point where we usually start to get a rush on the tickets. We usually start to get a rush on the tickets, probably
now.
Starting today into Wednesday is when we usually get the most of our ticket sales, and we're already at 14, and we haven't even reached the ticket rush yet.
So, like I said, hopefully there'll be a lot more to talk about. And unless you have something else to talk about, we're gonna go. There is some other parties coming up, and I'll get that information to you. But that's it. Thanks for coming by, and we'll see you later.
See ya.
That mean you a dirty whore. Should have been me just doing your more to give a big throb and standing ovation. Guess I was just born to porn. Let me ask you something, baby.
Smack my ass.
Do I make you horny?
Smack my ass like you mean it.
Do I? Yeah!
Well, the scenario, and can she go? Jenny Jane the song, I love a girl that swallows.
That had the answer. Yes, a bunch of mama said I'm too young. alone, boy.